All right, guys. So, Fula coming to you with another video. No surprises. But I am kind of surprised at this because I would think that like this style would cater towards, you know, would cater towards Canelo perfectly. But I guess I guess you know, um, I guess this is just how it works. Everybody has heard by now that Canelo turned down 55 million catch weight uh, fight with Earl Spence. It was going to be at 164. Um, and so let's look at it a couple of ways though. Let's kind of like examine this thing in a couple of ways. Um, so on one hand, it seems like PBC was throwing the bag at Canelo. It really does. It seems like they were really kind of like involved in wanting to throw the full bag at Canelo, right? Um, with that being said, one of the bags included a $55 million fight with Earl Spence at a catch weight, right? So, you know, being that Canelo fought at being that Canelo has fought at 168 and became undisputed, you know, 164 shouldn't have been hard to make for Canelo. You know what I mean? It's just minus 4 pounds off of what you would call it, off of the 168 limit. So with that being said, however, it looks like the ducking what has occurred, and he didn't want to fight. Because I mean, when you really think about it, the package that PBC was going to give Canelo is a pretty impressive package. They were going to give him like very good money to fight the likes of Benavidez, to fight the likes of Charlo, and now, as it turns out, to fight the likes of Earl Spence as well. But I guess Canelo didn't want that. And of course, his fans are going to defend it and say that he's earned the right to do whatever he wants to do. But I mean, and then they're going to also compare him to Floyd and stuff like that. But the difference between Canelo and Floyd is that, when Floyd was coming up, he fought everybody. When Floyd was coming up, there was nobody he didn't fight, right? However, the same thing can't be said about Canelo. I mean, he didn't fight everybody when he was coming up. A lot of times he fought guys who were out the door, who pretty much had like 1 foot out the door already. They were already like pretty much done, So with this being said, you can kind of say that Canelo kind of like in a way finessed his way to the top. Because even when Floyd fought, like when Floyd fought dudes, they were convincing wins. That the wins were never in question. And even when the wins were in question, Floyd went to go answer those questions with the rematch. He did that with Maidana, and he also did that with I want to say Castillo as well, right? He did it with both. Canelo, he only did it with Triple G, you know. But he never did it with Cotto, never did it with, what's his name? Erislandy Lara. He never did it with those guys. And that was largely due to the fact that, you know, many people, he just didn't want to go through that again, you know. But anyhow, with that being said, so he did turn down that fight, you know. But let's kind of look at the fact of what Errol Spence was doing, you know. So we can say, yeah, you know, Errol Spence was daring to be great, you know. We can say that by him, like, fighting, you know, 147, him, that's gonna be, like, basically 17 pounds that he would have to put on. Yeah, that's going to be a 17-pound weight jump that he would take part in if he decided to campaign at this weight for the Canelo fight. But at the same time, though, right? That's a big fight, right? Pay-per-view fight. Good, like, entertaining fight. A style that, a fan-friendly fight, probably, because they'll probably stay in the pocket a lot in that fight. You know, they both come forward pretty much. Like, that's pretty much their style. Come forward style, right? However, there's one question I have for, like, the fight. What about Boots? I know people are gonna tell me that, oh, you know, Boots, he hasn't earned it. Oh, Boots, he's a contender. Oh, no, Boots, he's still a prospect. Things like that. These are gonna be the talking points for the most of the people. But Boots has earned his spot. This month we'll see him go against Castillo Clayton, right? We just got to see how he looks against him. But at the same time, we can say that Boots has pretty much earned his spot. And I hate to say it, but while the Terence Crawford fight is a big fight, the Terence Crawford and the Errol Spence fight, that is a big fight. That's the fight that many boxing fans want to see. I think intentionally they are not paying attention to Boots, right? It was quite interesting, right? That Errol Spence had yeah. I'm an Errol Spence fan, but I have to straight out say it how it is. I gotta keep it a buck. I gotta be transparent. It's kind of crazy how Errol Spence straight out said Keith Thurman, when Boots was training, it was like on the Twitter or something. When Boots was training, they put him side by side by Keith Thurman, you know, because they were like, he doesn't have a fight available or something like that. And then Terence Crawford, Errol Spence said, he's not going to fight that man. He was talking about Keith Thurman. But at the same time, Errol Spence is not going to fight him either. That's just the bottom line truth. He ain't going to fight him. And why ain't he gonna fight him? Now you have Terrence Crawford saying that he's gonna fight after he beats Earl Spence. He's gonna fight F up Jamel Charlo. So it's like all these guys are overlooking Boots. Like they're not even mentioning his name. Like in I'm sorry to say it, but you have to give. The problem I have with this is the problem I have with them doing this. My problem is this. Okay, you're not mentioning Boots, right? And in a way, you're kind of overlooking Boots. And it's like, what's going to happen is, let's say all the belts are vacant, right? Let's say they vacate all the belts, right? So with all the belts being vacated, right? Then that would mean that Boots, he would have to fight the next guy down, and maybe the next guy down, they're not going to give him credit for winning the belt against that guy. They would give him mad credit if he were able to win the belt against these guys. But it seems like, man, these guys don't want to fight him, man. It seems like these guys are just like trying not to fight them, you know? And it's like, it's kind of sad, bro. I mean, they should try to fight him. They should look at Boots as like, hey, you know, maybe we can knock this guy off now before he gets better. But anyhow, man, by now I'm used to how Canelo moves, so it doesn't surprise me. That's just how it works with Canelo. You know, this is just how things go with Canelo. He's gonna do what he's wanting to do. It doesn't bother me, you know, because it's not just Canelo doing that. I mean, for a long time it was Oscar Valdez, it's Ryan Garcia that does that. It's all of them. It's a lot of them who do that. It's not just Canelo. I can name, you know, at one time even Mikey Garcia ducked Yuriorkis Gamboa when Yuriorkis Gamboa was tearing things up. Who else? Trying to think of someone else who did the same thing as well. I believe that it was recent too, as a matter of fact. I have to remember it. I mean, let's be honest, Virgil Ortiz don't want none of Gerard Ennis. Heck, Virgil Ortiz didn't even want anything with Rashidi Ellis. So it's like they all do this, bro. It's not a surprise that he turned it down. But it is kind of a surprise to me in a way, because I would think that Earl Spence's style would cater to Canelo. You know, coming forward, not really utilizing footwork or angles or anything like that, you know. I would think that would cater to him, but I guess not, you know. And in fact, you know, when you really think about it, that may have been his easiest fight out of the bunch. Out of the Charlo and David Benavidez fight, because of the simple fact that he would be coming up in weight. You know, and it may have been even more simpler than the Bivol fight, you know? But anyhow, that's all I got for now. Y'all leave your thoughts and your comments about this. Foolish signing out. Njawama.